Good morning. Well, it's been a few days of positive news for the equity markets, at least in terms of how they have traded. They've chosen to ignore or see through the kind of disruption that is being caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. And in fact, you had the Nifty 50 rising all the way up to within sniffing distance, shall we say, of the 15,000 mark in trade yesterday. But you had across the board selling, you had quite a big sell-off in the US markets, and that has had a bearing on sentiment in the Asia Pacific region. So we were setting up for a slow start or a start lower for the equity markets here in India. That has indeed happened, but the fall is not precipitous. So if you look at the Nifty 50, it is down about 0.7%. As of now, it opened about 1% lower, but it's recouped some of those losses. About 34 stocks on the Nifty 50 currently losing ground, and a number of them, I would say, are those that have actually performed really well over the past several sessions. So perhaps to a certain extent, some profit booking also being done. JSW Steel, biggest loser on the index, down about 2.7%. Hindalco also about 2.7% lower. A few financials also you'll find in that in the biggest losers, that is HDFC, Kotak, Bajaj Finance, also ICICI Bank. Quite a few of them down significantly today. And when I say significantly, I say between 1 and 2.4%. Among the gainers, you have only a handful today. Coal India's top gainer, up about 4% or so. IOC 3% or so. Let's look at the sectoral picture, because that will perhaps give you a better indication as to what we're seeing today. Most of the sectors are in the red, but not substantially so. Only the metals pack is losing ground, and that is understandable to a certain extent, considering that they've been by far and away the best performers over the last couple of weeks. Perhaps to a certain extent also, there is a feeling globally that maybe metal prices have gone up too quickly and by too much, and you could see a correction. Technical indicators apparently are showing that copper might actually see a correction now, having breached that $10,000 mark. Banks are in the red, down about 1%. Auto is about 0.7% in the red. FMCG is more or less flat. IT is down about 0.8%. The only sector that's performing well today is pharma, building on gains from yesterday's session. Overall, the advances actually still outweigh the declines in the broader markets, and that's indicative of how the broader markets are also trading. They are actually trading in the green, the broader market indices. What are we looking at in terms of what you have to watch out for? I would actually watch out for the flows data. Yesterday, you had a net buying of foreign institutional investors, not by a very large amount, but it's a positive change from what you've seen in the recent past. Now, 2 out of the last 3 sessions, foreign institutions have net bought. Of course, in yesterday's session, domestic institutions that have actually been net buying, they sold to the extent of 476 odd crore rupees. So that's how we're looking at the start of trade today. Let's see how it pans out over the rest of the session.